Hi folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. Boy, I've got something that I've been wanting to report on, but I didn't have enough knowledge. But we're all pretty much aware, if we travel Route 37, of the project going on just as you leave Waddington, where they've reduced it to one lane and all that construction that's going on. Well, what is that construction? It's a project that is part of the Power Authority's relicensing agreement that goes on every so many years. And the DEC is putting this project forward. And what it really is about is protecting the watershed of Sucker Brook, that pond, which is a natural fish spawning area. But it isn't so much anymore because so much has happened. Well, number one, let's look at the water level on the St. Lawrence. And we know that it's precariously low right now. But in talking to Jana Lantre, who is our region's fisheries manager, she told me that in the winter, the water level is even lower. And so what happens in a pond area like that is it becomes so low that it affects all the vegetation growth. And what's been happening is that mats of cattails have sprung up in areas because they're not as susceptible to low water conditions as some of the other vegetation. And when these mats of cattails form, it keeps the northern pike from being able to spawn. And that's why through the years, our northern pike fisheries in the St. Lawrence River, from what it was in the 1980s, is deteriorated or lessened each year because these fish aren't able to spawn. There's so much more to this water project. To keep that water level higher in the winter, to enable all of these good things to happen, there's going to be a pump station there that's going to constantly be pumping water into the pond to maintain its level different than what's out in the St. Lawrence River. One of the other things that I never realized is muskrat populations can have a huge positive effect on this fishery, because when the muskrats disappear, and that's what happens in the winter when the water level gets too low, it freezes them out. If the water level is kept higher, the muskrats can keep the cattail mats controlled. They keep the growth down so that the water can pass through, and so the northern pike can get to their spawning areas. There's going to be a new fish ladder built in there to allow fish from the St. Lawrence to come in this area to spawn. But the way it's designed, it's going to keep the carp out, because I guess the feeling is that there's so many hundreds of carp that get in there in the spring that it really does sort of inhibit the spawning of other fish. So this is a gigantic project. The DEC is really excited about it because it's been years in coming. And Janet assures me, even though it looks so ominous right now with all this construction taking place there, that when it's finished, it's going to be a tremendous boost to the environmental and aquatic well-being of that area. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.